Xbox article. Of course, we'll be getting plenty of Game Pass announcements too. The show will feature amazing titles from Xbox Game Studios, Bethesda, and our partners around the world. We'll see you on Sunday, the 12th of June, and those times are 10 a.m. PT, 1 p.m. EST, and 6 p.m. good old UK time. So, Ian.
Hello.
What do you want to see from this Xbox / Bethesda / everyone else showcase?
Well, if I could dream, it'd be Dishonored 3.
Oh, great.
If I could dream, Dishonored 3, give me that.
That would be amazing. Can you imagine? I think we'd need a few spare pair of pants on hand just in case
Yes.
that little logo come up. Do you think it's likely, or are you just like throwing something out there and hoping for the best?
Throwing something I hope for the best. If anything, they may do a prequel-ish, maybe. I don't know. I would like to see more of that Redfall, though, because that's kind of a bit
definitely
quiet.
Yeah.
So for me, Redfall, because I guess that's maybe get the feel of Dishonored-esque.
Yeah.
But
that was going to be my pick, because that's coming out supposedly this summer. So we're getting pretty close now, and with 4-player co-op Dishonored / Left 4 Dead vibes, I'm fucking here for it. Nice. Graham.
yes.
Yeah. Maybe an update on the Elder Scrolls bit rather than a duff trailer of what we got before. Just anything as a smidgen of what to expect.
Maybe even just tell us where it's going to be.
Yeah.
That would help.
That's too easy for them, isn't it?
They've gave us nothing for that so far. So even just tell us it's fucking, I don't know, anywhere where it is.
Yeah, I reckon they put that trailer out and they were like, "Oh shit, we got to do it now." Bollocks.
Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah.
God damn it.
And the new one, what is it? Starcraft or Starfield, whichever the new one is. That's
Starfield.
Starfield.
Good old Ross. Yeah, do you reckon we might actually see first time gameplay? Because we've only seen in-engine stuff so far, isn't it?
Yes,
So
we
it
will
would be
see
nice to
gameplay.
see
We will see
proper.
I reckon we'll get
Long.
like a nice long on. I think that'll probably be the big showcase. Like
Yeah, that'll be like
they do like a 10-15 minute gameplay.
Yeah.
Where they go through like a quest. That's the best word.
See the quest. Maybe even see some of the like space exploration that they've got in it as well. That would be lovely.
Old Todd Howard will come out and they'll be like waffling on. They'll be like, "And now look to the stars," and it'll fade up, and they'll be like ships and space battles, and then someone trying to trade a 10-ton of helmets for wheels of cheese or something.
Then you're going to get someone who's going to screenshot a dodgy screenshot because they got a video running at 360 and go, "Look how bad the graphics
Look how
are."
terrible it is.
Yeah, well, you'll always get them console fanboys. Anything else, Graham, before we move on to Scottish Gruff?
There's probably loads that come from Bethesda that you're looking interested in, but those are the key ones.
Yes, I think you've pretty much covered the bases there. Ross, tell us.
Yep, Starfield. That would be the one that I'd be most intrigued about. Would I be optimistic and maybe say something from Fallout? Just even a talk of there will be a new game. It will be Fallout 5, whatever that may be, or even New Vegas 2.
Whoa. Are we we only want to look at good games coming up. Are they still updating Fallout 76?
I don't feel like I want to speak to you, Jay.
We just leave the podcast now.
Yes, that's me. That's me, ladies and gentlemen. No, are they still actually updating 76?
They are. Yes, they've never stopped updating it, and it's as like when we jumped in it for Project Game Pass. I think you had seen that it had came on leaps and bounds for where it first was.
Yeah.
Oh God, definitely.
It's even further again now. There's a lot more in it. There's always stuff to do. There's always events going on. I'm not saying it's Destiny level of events, but there is always like dailies, weeklies, challenges, new, like Fortnite with their seasons. So like they've just had I can't remember. It was like Son of Steel, and it was based around the Brotherhood. They've had other type events and things like that as well. So. They are updating it, but I think it's maybe not too little too late, but I feel like it's got its hardcore fan base, and the casuals who wanted to enjoy it were sort of burned by the original, well, what it was when they first put it out.
Fingers crossed. You never know. We might get a full fat single player, or even co-op would be all right if they didn't include all the other bullshit they included in 76. I guess.
All you literally have to do is give us Fallout 4 co-op. Nothing else added, just Fallout 4, but with co-op.
That would be quite fun.
That's all you need. Like, nobody's asking you to like reinvent the wheel. just this.
We don't need hunger meters. We don't need PvP. We don't need world events. Just
exactly. Just add in a character that you can
adventure.
play alongside, and that's it. Sorted.
Yes. Nice. Anything else you're looking forward to other than a new Fallout or StarCraft?
I'm trying to think of other things from Bethesda. No, that's probably out of all their ones that they do. Probably they're the two biggest. Obviously, if we get more from Elder Scrolls, fantastic. Obviously, Redfall. If we see more of that, that'd be amazing. I don't think they're going to have anything new. I feel like that would stretch themselves too thin. Yeah. Whether or not they've got, obviously, I know it's would Bethesda and ZeniMax sort of team up and do the whole New Vegas type idea and something like that. Use all the combined studios. So who was it? The Obsidian was the other one as well.
Obsidian, yeah.
So use the three of them, push them together, and then this is what we're going forward for with Fallout from now on.
Newer Vegas.
Exactly.
Yes. Nice. Well, as I said, Redfall, very exciting to see that. Do you reckon we might get like a playable beta or something? And it's out now.
That'd fucking be awesome.
Yeah. That'd be awesome.
Everybody would just leave the fucking conference like, nope, right, we're done. This way.
Yeah, that would be pretty exciting if they did that. The only other thing I'm going to join in my wild speculation and hope and pray that we see either some form of new Quake or something from the new Wolfenstein game.
That'd be good.
I doubt we're going to see either of them, but if one of them appears as well as Redfall, or indeed Dishonored, I think I will be a very happy man indeed. So when did I say it was? June 12th, wasn't it?
June 12th,
yes.
Yep.
Nice. So we haven't got too long to wait, I guess. And
we should do a watch long and get Jamie drunk again.
I mean, I'm always up for that.
Every time the word Game Pass is mentioned, Jay needs to take a shot.
Or they invite out Todd Howard to introduce us to another game.
Yeah.
Oh. But so we look forward to that. Obviously, I think, did they say it's going to be about an hour, or have I just made that up entirely?
June 12th is actually a Sunday as well, so.
I think you've made that up.
Really? I think I might have made that up, yeah. I thought I saw someone saying something 60 to 90 minutes, but
that's normally about 90 minutes.
That's pretty average, isn't it, for a showcase like this? But it's the first one they've done in a long time, so hopefully we get some big, meaty reveals, maybe some more on the new Halo content. They might even maybe wangle some form of updating of co-op, or I don't know. Maybe we'll never know. We'll see.
We can dream.
We can dream, and we will dream until June the 12th when we record the podcast after. For fuck's sake, don't show anything. Oh.
Yeah.
And while we're on sort of like the positive spin, I'm just going to chuck a quick cheeky news story in. Ross.
Yes.
Xbox celebrating 20 years in Scotland.
It's fucking awesome.
Own official tartan controller.
It was awesome.
Are you going to pick this up? Are you excited?
I don't think it's not being released, is it?
Oh no, it's a competition.
No, it's a competition. Yes.
You got to enter it then, haven't you?
Yeah, I seen it on. Where did I see it? Xbox on. I can't remember what it was, but I'm sure it was Bex that put it out, and basically she had it, and I was like, "That's fucking awesome." I don't like the very stereotypical picture they've got of the guy using it sitting with a glass bottle of iron brew in front of him. That's not. It's cultural appropriation, you bastards. But yeah,
I mean, he's covered in tartan.
He's covered in tartan as well. Not going to make the Rangers fans happy as it's green and yellow tartan, but still, fuck them.
He hasn't got any haggis near him, though.
He hasn't got any haggis, no. Although he has just got a plate to the side of him, so he's already polished off.
Obviously that's just like third take. Like, oh, fuck this, I'm eating this.
Third tap, and he's already just finishing his book of Rabbi Burns on the side as well. So, no, it's a cool wee thing.
He's got shit hair.
He has got shit hair, but hey, ho.
Oh yeah, I wasn't going to get into that, but yeah. So enter that competition. I think how long is it going for? I did just close the window like a fool.
Just try to see if I've still got it open up. It doesn't say actually.
It doesn't say how long it's on for.
It doesn't say on for, but yeah, I mean, I'd love to win one. So if anybody from either the company that's making them, from George Nicholson, or if the Xbox One folk want to send us through, then Scottish Gruff.
Yes,
send it through.
Scottish Gruff, care of Scottish Gruff.
Yeah, exactly.
Xbox Tavern headquarters, Scotland, some backwater
made up
area.
Name.
Yeah. Cool. Right. Thank you very much. Let's move on to next one, please. Ian.
Yes.
This one's for you.
Is it?
Yes. Did you know that you can now unveil secret achievements directly in the guide?
This was amazing news. See, when I seen this, I was like, Finally.
Does that
the true achievements anymore?
Does that give you the jollies, Ian?
I mean, yes and no. Well, I guess yes, because it's always going to be yes.
It's going to be yes, isn't it?
It's going to be yes. Of course, it's going to be yes. I mean, it's good because sometimes, especially when you have a progression on like an achievement, and it's like you have no idea which one is this one progressing on. At least this way you can reveal it to see which one you're actually progressing on, rather than trying to A, work it out, or B, use true achievements to kind of figure out what you're actually progressing on.
So what's the point of them being secret if you can look at it now? I mean, I think you've been able to do this on PlayStation for ages, but
I guess people who still like to not know about what happened in the game achievement-wise, because it might give a bit of a spoiler.
Yeah,
I suppose so, yeah.
It's like you say, they do have the option to reveal it, so it doesn't just, they're not doing secret achievements anymore. You have to actively change it. So people who
isn't it always secret? Then you reveal it if you want.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, if you want. So you've still got the option to go in and blind and sort of just trying to find out what the achievement is by yourself. But for players like myself who just want to fucking find out what the achievement is, it's handy for that.
Yeah, definitely. Especially rather than having to go to other sources.
Yeah.
You can just quickly do on your console.
So this is for just Alpha Skip Ahead and Alpha Insiders at the moment, but obviously they always roll out to the general public fairly quickly within a month or two. So look forward to that. Up and coming. Graham, I'm sorry, I don't really have any of you. How about Walking Dead, Gray? Great, I know you like a bit of Walking Dead.
Yeah. as much as Stan, though.
Oh yeah, I was going to say.
Did you know, Graham, that The Walking Dead Season 1 originally started off as a Left 4 Dead game?
Well, luckily.
I'm sorry, I said I didn't have anything for you.
I feel so sick hearing that.
So apparently it was pitched to Valve as a spin-off story for the original Left 4 Dead with the characters and that, but it didn't go anywhere. And then I watched a documentary. It's about an 11-minute documentary in there. You should watch it, Gray. It's got Kenny's voice actor in it quite a lot. I know you're a big fan of him. And it had some of the other key cast and writers and stuff. And one of them revealed that they started off as a Left 4 Dead game. And then they saw Robert Kirkman somewhere and said, "We make games. We should make a game for you." And that's kind of how they got together. And the rest of it is just them looking back going, it was so emotional and so amazing. Which it was.
So obviously lucky. Because if they did, if it was made a spin-off of Left 4 Dead, it would have done shite. Yeah,
I imagine it certainly would not have had the impact.
It's not like Left 4 Dead was a story in the first place.
No,
it's just...
that's at least they had the name branding behind it, like Walking Dead, massive show.
It could very well have done a bit of Tales of the Borderlands style flip reverse, you know. But you never know. We'll never get it. But I thought it was interesting anyway that it started off life like that, and then it turned into one of the best games on the 360 easily, and definitely one of the best in the genre of interactive narrative storytelling games.
It kind of brought through that kind of new of interactive storytelling rather than just clicking through. You got decisions to make. It was a bit more involved
and under time pressure as well. You got, and they weren't always. I know it's not real in that, but they always a tough decision to save this person. Do you go this way? Do you do that? And the added time pressure and the uncertainty was always good fun.
Yeah,
good.
So luckily it didn't happen like that.
Yes,
luckily it didn't because
Left 4 Dead was dreadful. So
I mean, if it had been Left 4 Dead, we wouldn't have got Kenny. So everything works out in the end, doesn't it?
Kenny is a true hero of Walking Dead.
He is.
Man's unkillable.
In my world,
Yes. Well, again, you should play the rest of the seasons, but we'll get into that another time, I'm sure. All right, one more quick story then. Bit of a sour note, I guess, to end on, but let's do it. Sony is still blocking games from Xbox users on NVIDIA GeForce Now. So GeForce Now is their NVIDIA's streaming service, which you can use on any browser, including the Microsoft Edge browser on Xbox. And you can play, I think it says here, over 1,000 games, including ports of PlayStation games. Certain ones anyway. I think it's Ratchet and Clank or something, Kena Bridge of Spirits can be played, but they started restricting games such as God of War and Death Stranding, so that if you're using an Xbox Edge browser, it won't show up as a game you can play, but you can do it on your PC or your phone or whatever else you want to play. It just seems a bit of a weird move. Anyone have any thoughts or opinions on this?
It makes no sense.
It's Sony taking their ball and going home. Like, we don't want to play with you. It's just like I feel like all the good that PlayStation did with the PS4, they're really starting to take massive chunks out of it.
Yeah, their hubris is getting the better of them, I think, at the
and
minute.
a side story, if we're sort of kicking the blue team while they're down, that's to go alongside with is obviously what they've now done with this new PS Plus Game Pass shit, and not allowing you to stack it. So you can't. So it's like what we all do with our Game Pass and our Gold and stuff like that before, like stack it for X amount of years in ahead and shit like that. PlayStation have stopped it. They're like, you just can't do it, and it's like, why?
Yeah, because everybody's rushing to fill up on subs, weren't they? And now they've been like, right, actually, no, stop that.
Yeah,
don't do it.
It's like all the good that they done with the PS4 and absolutely blew Xbox out the water. Like, there's no competition with the 1 and the 4. Like the PS4 smashed it hands down.
Yeah.
But this generation, they just seem to be like it's went to their heads. Like we're the dominant brand in gaming, so therefore everybody will bow to our demands. And it's like, all right, cool. You want to play a game that's from Xbox, but you don't have an Xbox, but you've got a PC. Cool, sign up for it.
Yeah.
And there you go, you get to play it.
And
we don't care how you play our games. We just want you to play our games, however you may choose to do it.
There were people saying that you can't play Xbox on PlayStation, which I'm assuming they don't have some sort of browser to play.
But then that's a PlayStation thing. That's not something Xbox limited. Like
they would let you play it, no problem.
Yeah, if you had like an Edge browser built into your PlayStation, you could go on and play games through the Edge browser. That wouldn't stop, but they don't have an Edge browser, so that's PlayStation's fault.
Yeah.
There's nothing Microsoft can do about that.
And what difference does it matter if you're playing, say you're sitting at your computer using an Xbox controller playing God of War?
Yeah.
Why can't you go on the Xbox and play it on your whacking great TV?
Yeah.
And use the same controller? It makes no sense.
Yeah, like if I'm sitting where I'm sitting, I'm 10 yards from my Xbox. So I can play God of War sitting here, but I can't play it 10 yards away because they don't let it go through the Edge browser that I've got there compared to there. Yeah. It's just fucking stupid.
It makes no sense. I mean, there could very well be some sort of technical reason. I highly doubt it, but playing devil's advocate, perhaps there's got some way of.
But then no, because that's not the case. Because Bridge of Spirits, another PlayStation exclusive, you can play. So it's not. There's no like, the games from the PlayStation server don't work on GeForce Now on the Xbox and blah blah.
I think I should have clarified. This is the PC ports of the PlayStation game, so this isn't working on PlayStation game hardware, as it were. But it should still work. There's no reason why it wouldn't work. If it's going to work on your computer, why can't it work on your Xbox? And it strikes, as you said, Ross, them being like, "Well, we're too fucking fuck you, haha. You do what we say, or don't fucking play at all."
It's stuff like this, and this is what I mean about not all console fans are fanboys and have really irrelevant points, but it's like the article that we're reading off there for like some of the comments underneath it, and it's like, PlayStation, why would they? That's like asking to be able to stream Halo on PlayStation using NextCloud. Well, if they've got a browser, you can play Halo on PS5, but they don't have the browser. It's just.
It makes
it's just petty, isn't it?
That's exactly what it is. Pettiness, and just surely you'd want someone who's only got an Xbox to play God of War, which is fucking awesome, and be like, shit, this is an awesome game. Maybe there's more on PlayStation that I should go and check out. Not, I can't play it, so I guess I just won't bother.
Yeah.
Even Gray might play God of War if he could play it on his Xbox through the Edge browser.
I don't think you would. I don't even think you should.
Oh, no, God of War's awesome. Anyway,
God of War is awesome.
It's awesome. More people should be able to play it, is the gist of it. And
I got bored quite quickly of it.
I'm more jealous that PlayStation bought Bungie. So much potential.
I know. How are you going to play that hot new Destiny? Oh, I suppose you can too anyway, can't you? But yeah, that's about it. Unless you want to talk about Apex Legends, Ian.
No.
Cool. All right, that'll do us then. So basically, Showcase is the key thing. June 12th, we're going to have hopefully 6 p.m. on the Sunday, you said, wasn't it, Ross?
10 p.m. Pacific time. So is that not? 6 because
6 p.m. Yeah.
6 p.m. it'll be. So yeah, that'll be a 4-hour show for us.
Well, yeah, more or less. Yeah, probably about half hour for me. By the time I've downed a few shots of whiskey or something. But yeah, we'll have a watch along with that. Hopefully, all 5 of us, and we can get our hot takes and reactions. Graham looks well excited.
I guarantee you 100% Dan won't turn up.
Of course, Dan won't fucking turn up. Not for something that length. He'll be like,
we'll
I
be
can
alright.
make the recording for the showcase, but I can't do the
I
podcast.
might not do one or the other.
Or I can do the podcast, but I can't do the showcase.
Well, I'll do one or the other.
10 minutes.
I think, Jay should do one or the other. Last time he got much too drunk.
Yeah.
Get it
No,
done, Jay.
I'll do one or the other and I'll just pass out. Anyway, I'll man up this time, don't worry. That's about all the news we've got this week for you. Thank you very much for listening so far. If you've made it through this wonderful chatter and waffle so far, fantastic. Thank you. You are a hero, as we like to say. We love you, and you can visit us at xboxtavern.com for all of our written stuff, which is where our reviews, which we'll be talking about a few of them later on.
I will be writing reviews soon.
We'll see about that. And articles and things and pieces on xboxtavern.com. You can also find our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/xboxtavernofficial, which is where we record this podcast each and every Sunday at 8 p.m.
Ish.
Thank you. As well as various other videos and clips and bits, again, some of which we'll be talking about in a little bit. Twitter at Xbox Tavern. Instagram, is there an Instagram?
Who else?
Well, isn't Instagram Xbox Tavern?
Instagram. Thank you. TikTok,
Confused
Discord.
each time Jay is embarrassed.
Oh, I don't do social stuff. That's the other guy's remit. And also, we have a store, as you might be able to tell from some lovely representation here from myself and Scottish Gruff. We've got our own merch store. I feel like a proper YouTuber now saying that.
Oh, yeah.
So you can go to Spring Tees, is it?
Teespring,
sorry. Oh, such an old man.
Granddad.
Anyway, and search Xbox Tavern. The link will be down in the description as well as on the podcast description. And
it's on the website as well. We've got a link to it on the website.
And it is indeed on the website as well, which you can find. T-shirts, hats, mugs, whatever, butt plugs.
Face masks.
Whatever takes your fancy, you can strap our logo to it and do whatever it is you wish to do with it.
Yeah.
Little Dan voodoo doll.
Probably get that to show up on the show more.
I think his missus owns only one.
I'm going to give it a quick break and then we'll go right. Insert Coin also do lovely clothes. Maybe they're definitely as nice as ours, if not better in some instances. But Dreamcast hoodie, thank you, Ian. Wonderful top. You can go to insertcoinclothing.com and use the code XboxTavern22 for 20% off for the entirety of 2022. Shut up, Ian.
Didn't say anything this time.
Yeah.
Yes.
We were waiting.
So 20% up until the end of the year. It's great deal, and they got some fantastic clothes. So go over and check them out. Insertcoinclothing.com. Right. Enough about clothes and butt plugs and all other kind of goodies. Should we get into the question of the week?
We should. I think we should start with Ian.
Right. So I will admit, one of my favorite podcasts, Game Scoop, IGN's Game Scoop, have questions from the listeners and stuff. And I heard this week's one, or last week's one, I should say. And I thought, that's fucking brilliant. So I'm going to steal it. So thanks, Game Scoop. And whoever it was, I can't remember who it was who wrote it in. The question was, what is your favorite location from a game? This could be a region or building, specific spot on a map, etc., etc. So Graham, tell me, what is your favorite location from a game?
So it's hard to pick kind of a specific location because a lot of them kind of already exist and it seems a bit of a cop-out. So I just picked some place that sort of gives you a bit of imagination, and I picked the Citadel from the Mass Effect series, just because it's that central hub for all the different species that kind of meet each other. And that's when you first get there, it's kind of mind-blowing how you sort of take in all the different lore of all the different aliens and how they all kind of communicate through either telepathy and how they breed differently. And it's pretty much how you learn about all the different kind of races. That's the main ones there, and it's just taking it all in.
What's your favourite Citadel?
The first one, because it's when you first finally meet the Volus. That made me crack up when I first saw one of those.
The angriest race in the world.
They're the little dudes with like the glowing mouthpieces, aren't they?
Fuck you, human. How the hell did you get ahead of us? Because you're fucking ball high with a grasshopper and you can't breathe properly. That's
so
why.
Larry. You just want to kick him over.
So aggressive. So aggressive. Whoa.
them and that species that's when you first introduced that, and the monotone one that has to explain it.
Elcor, isn't it?
Elcor.
Yeah.
Like elephant things.
Passively annoyed. Yeah, it was all different levels of awesome, and it just really set the bar quite high for the whole series, and it's an amazing area with probably one of the greatest stories.
Yeah. It's amazing. If like going back to the collection, was it definitive edition or whatever it was? It's quite basic, really, like, compared to now. But at the time, it's like, shit, this is like a living, breathing space station I'm sitting on. Ross is getting all excited about talking about Mass Effect. I can see him bouncing in his chair. But that's a very exciting pick, Graham. Thank you very much. Ross, tell me, video games.
So I moved away from Mass Effect because I thought a bit of repetition that I always seem to pick that as one of my answers. So I went for Toussaint in Witcher 3. So it's the second DLC, Blood and Wine, and it's just a total flip on what you expect from the Witcher universe. Obviously, in the main game, you've got the sort of dark and dreary Velen, and then you start going into the bigger cities like Oxenfurt and I can't remember the other one as well. But they're all very sort of, you almost want to say like old school English countryside type looks. So it's just like rolling fields with like foresty type looks, and that's it. Whereas you go to Toussaint and everything's vibrant. There's beautiful sort of aquamarine waters, big palace type cities. It's just such a different landscape to what you're used to in the main game. The colouring that they use in it, so everything's much more vibrant. The layout of it with it's hard to describe. It's based on vampires, so it's got that quite medieval but magical type feel to it. So it almost looks like you've taken a mixture of, like, this is going to sound a terrible example, but you'll get my drift, like Twilight, Disney, and then the Witcher TV show type idea. So you've got the gory aspect of it, but the first area that
everything sparkles.
The first area that you see is, like, the best way I can describe it is like at the start of the Disney films, and you've obviously, it pans out for like the big Disney castle. That's like the palace that's in Toussaint, and you've got the rivers that flow into the city.
I don't know why, but I just thought of your magical place, Toys R Us. My mind went.
And there's this giant animated cartoon giraffe in the distance.
Yeah, exactly. Just Jeffrey running.
That's where my mind went when you said that.
And then I found out there's millions of them, all under one roof.
It's amazing, but no, it's such a change from the main area that you're in. Plus, it's got some of the best story and the best missions in the Witcher games, so I think that sort of makes it more favourable for the fact that it's that good. And you've also got a second element of it where they introduce, again, going down the Disney route, they introduce like a world where you're in fairy tales. So you come across elements like Jack the Beanstalk, Little Red Riding Hood, what was the other one? There's a few other ones like that. So you go into a different part of Toussaint that's got all of that based in it. And then also gives you the part of getting your own vineyard. So you own this nice big massive area with all these different things, and depending on your actions in the main game, you actually settle down and live your life out in Toussaint based on who you romanced or who survived. So it's just a nice little ending to the whole Witcher 3 storyline.
So all of this lovely, cheery, chirpy stuff. Does Geralt ever cheer the fuck up?
Oh yeah,
or
yeah.
You
actually see him laugh and have a great time, and
what?
It's fantastic.
Nice.
Is he like an Elcor? Like
he gets in trouble for like
Yeah.
he gets put in jail. He starts fights with like the Royal Guard. Oh, it's brilliant.
Nice. And which DLC was that in? Sorry.
Blood and Wine.
Blood and Wine. Okay, cool.
So it's vampire based, but really good.
Yeah, nice, cool. All right, well, I'll give Ian a couple more minutes to think of something while I waffle on about Resident Evil. Yeah, boy. Specifically, Resident Evil 2 remake, police station. It's just such a well-designed location. It's not massive, and it's not like obviously the whole game, because you end up going in the labs underground and all the other bits and pieces that come with it. But it's just, I love the way everything interconnects to that main central room with the a statue in the middle. And you can sort of, you slowly work your way around it without realizing you've gone from A to B to C to D. You know, you just traversing this almost like a labyrinth area, but it all makes sense and it all feels like a real location, albeit locked off with heart keys and number pads and filled with zombies and lickers and some big cunt who wants to come and smash your face in every 5 seconds.
That's like a common theme in Resident Evil, isn't it? Because like I'm thinking back to the first one, and you've obviously got the staircase in the mansion.
Yeah.
Then when you think of Village, you've obviously got the room with the 4 different things that you've got to put on to get through the fireplace.
I see.
But all of it bases round, like you can get round the whole map on that little area.
Yeah. That's very Resident Evil-esque.
Yeah.
But I think personally, obviously, I know I've made mention once or twice before on the show about my love for Resident Evil 2 and specifically the remake. But yeah, that police station is just, it was almost a shame when you leave it and you go onto the labs and stuff, because although they're still fun to play and sort of finish the rest of the game, the police station is easily the best single designed area in that whole game, just for the way, like I said, it all interconnects and the way you explore it to its fullest, especially if you're running away from said big cunt who's trying to chase you around. And
I was more bored by the lickers, man. I hate their things.
I'd rather have 10 of them than that Mr. T motherfucker chasing me around.
I have not played the remake. Yeah, I've not played that, so that's why.
Oh yes, you need to get that fixed when they release the upspuff later this year. But yeah, PlayStation Resident Evil 2, good in the original, remake even better. Ian, places, video games, tell me, favourites.
So I'm going to be quite boring and quite obvious. Well, not obvious, but I'm going to say Liberty City and Grand Theft Auto 5.
Nice. Such
a vast open area. I mean, you can do so much variety of things. Like go to a strip club. But you know, it's just all good fun. You know, I mean, like I say, I think it's like really well built, because obviously, yes, there's sometimes you got to trek miles away, and most time you do want to spend the time in the city. And obviously, it can be quite a slog, and sometimes you just get a taxi and then just fast travel. But I think it's really well made, and I think, like I said, there's so much. Again, I think because of the game, there's so much variety of things you can do, and not much of it is locked off. I still find it really fun, especially now. I guess you could always add it as, I guess I'm adding things with this one. But the fact with Grand Theft Auto Online, you can kind of build your own worlds and build your own kind of races and stuff. It does get a bit crazy.
Ross has a question, or I've got a feeling it's the same as my question.
GTA 5 isn't based in Liberty City.
Sorry, what did I say? Did I say Liberty City?
It's based in Los Santos. I was thinking, have I lost the plot here?
No, that's my fault. Los Santos.
I was
Sorry.
like, shit.
Oh, he's fucking damned this, isn't he?
I should just leave.
He's not even completed it. He's barely played it.
He turned it on and basically it got to the point where like Michael's fucking got arrested and that's it.
That's it. For fuck's sake. I'm out. See you later, guys. Nice name.
Well, I was going to agree with you, Liberty City, because I fucking love Liberty City, but Los Santos is brilliant. Yeah.
Sorry, I meant Liberty City is great, but I meant Los Santos. Sorry. See, this is why I need more time. Time.
He's done all the achievements. He's forgotten what it's called. Right, let's move on and save Ian from the embarrassment, shall we?
Let's do it, please. Go away.
Right. Well, yes. Like I said, if you've got questions for us, you can hit us up at Xbox Tavern on Twitter, or in the comments down below, or all the other social stuff. Or you can join our Patreon and give us a question on there. Patreon.com/Xbox Tavern, I think it is. You can search for it on there. We've got a couple of patrons. Thank you, Beth. Thank you, Agalatos. You're heroes, and you're helping us provide this wonderful, wonderful weekly show.
Keeping the lights on.
Keeping the lights on, as they say, and the mics, and keeping us fed and watered. Right. Go over there. That'd be lovely. Right. Games we've been playing, gentlemen. Ross, Graham, Ian, you're going to have to sit out for a moment, because we've been talking about we're going to talk about some Dead by Daylight, which we played this week finally. Our Project Game Pass for the month of April. We finally played it on the 28th of April. Success. Heroes. We did wonderful. We got there in the end. Just 3 of us. Graham,
yeah.
Initial impressions of Dead by Daylight.
It's simple, but very sort of nerve-wracking at the same time.
Yeah.
I mean, the plot is generally very simple. You just got to turn on generators and then get out, basically, without being killed. that's the kind of simplicity of it, but it's way more complicated than that because you've got distract the bad guy. You've got a kind of there's different mini games you've got to take him apart, and it was good. It was good fun, and regardless of which baddie you got, we like the way you get the Halloween theme every time you jump into a level. The tubular bells going in, but it's good. Sort of. There was a lot to enjoy and a lot of funny moments that we had when playing. So, recommend it with a group of friends.
Perfect Project Game Pass game. I probably should have explained what the game was before we started talking about it. For anyone who doesn't know, 4v1 asymmetrical multiplayer. Four players are survivors trying to escape an area. One is the killer. The killers range from like various like homemade things that the developers have made to the tyrant from Resident Evil. Not tyrant, sorry, Nemesis. Jason, I think Freddy's in there.
Freddy's in there, Pyramid
all
Head,
sorts of specific like horror movie ones. And then the idea is, as Graham said, you've got to go around and turn on 4 or 5 generators in a map without getting killed by the single player playing as the horror creature, and then you've got to escape once you've turned on the generators. I think that did we figure out something like 10 generators, but you've only got to use 5? Is that right?
Yeah, there's more generators on the map than what you need to turn on to actually get out.
But they take a very long time to turn them on. They take a long,
especially when it's got quick time events and Jay's useless as a waterproof teabag.
Yeah. So it takes a long time. You can team up to do them, but then if one of you fucks up an event, it sets you back. And same with like healing and using items and stuff. They all take a long time as well. And the killer can see when you're starting to do something, so he'll know where you are. So you've got to do something quickly, then hide away or run off somewhere else. And it's a lot of hectic fun, especially if there's a full 4v1. We found it a bit easy, didn't we, in 2v1 when it was just the three of us sort of getting the hang of it. The killer had fucking
killer's too easy.
Rule of the roost. But yeah, no, it's good fun. Ross, thoughts?
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. I was surprised at how good it was. It was a great laugh. Like the whole playing through it as well was really, really good. As you said, in a group would be awesome having like sort of 4 against 1. The different killers we like obviously they kind of try and balance it out. So like the killer moves faster than the survivors, but the survivors have the ability to like mantle. So if you get to a dead end, you can escape, and then the killer's like, fuck, I need to go the long way around, but he's faster. So there's a nice balance between what the killer can do and what the survivors can do, but they don't have to worry about cancelling each other out. Unless you're great and you just run around the table like this and nobody can catch you.
If anyone was going to find a fucking cheap hack to survive, it was going to be him. But it works. That's amazing.
It does work.
It only worked once.
Yeah. No, the maps are maybe a wee bit repetitive. I think we played the same map twice. So even like I don't
know if that was my fault because I set it up to just play the same map again though.
No. I mean, like, so the game that we played that we did custom, we did the house one, but the first map we played and the last map that we played were the exact same maps.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Not a great deal of difference between any of the maps. There's one fixed point in the middle that has goodies in it, usually a basement that had goodies in it as well, generators that dotted all around the outside of it, places for cover and stuff like that. So there wasn't a great deal in regards to map design, but it was effective in what they'd done. Mechanics, not difficult to get used to, but things like the end game, the very first time that I escaped, I didn't know how to escape. All I know was...
That's because we skipped the tutorial bit.
There's a lot of flailing around going, what the fuck is going on?
All I did was run around until I seen a massive big opening and went, right, that's where I'm heading. And flashed up, escaped. I was like, woohoo! After that, then we realised that there's like a switch where you need to flip the switch to get the doors to open. Again, that takes X amount of time. And then you can get out through the exit that way. But no, really quite an awesome game. I had been wanting to play it for ages, and it's definitely one that if you've got a group of players, you're in for a good time.
Yeah, no, it's a good laugh. I think I would echo basically everything you said already. Lots of fun, especially with a group. But I think my main issue with it, which wasn't so much of an issue for me because I was gifted a code for the Resident Evil pack, which come with loads of credits and stuff to spend on points. But there's a lot of grinding if you want to get to the point where you've got decent because you every map you go in, you get to take a loadout, so you can take one main ability and then 2 sort of side abilities. But then once you've used them, they're gone. But then to unlock more, you have to use, I think they call them blood points or something to go through a certain skill tree to unlock more random generated things like that. And because obviously you two had only just started playing, you didn't have very much at all. And even though I had a fair bit more, I didn't really know what anything did. So I was just sort of picking stuff at random, which sometimes helped and sometimes didn't. So there's quite a lot of grinding if you really, and it does it per character as well. So I had Leon and Jill both leveled up quite high, but if I picked anyone else, I'd have to be starting from square one again, which again incentivizes more people to play more often, I guess, as is the way with these things. But it's also not a free to play game; it's a full price game. It is on Game Pass, obviously. But yeah, if you were to wanted to have it for yourself, yeah, it's a purchasable product before you then have to spend more money on microtransactions if you don't want to play for 1,000 hours to get anywhere. But yeah, cool gameplay, lots of fun. I did enjoy playing as Leon and running away from the nemesis.
You didn't get very far, but yeah.
I didn't get very far, no, but I enjoyed the few seconds that I got to run. Ian, I know you didn't play with us, but do you think it's something up your street? Do you reckon you give it a go, or are you just bypassing it completely?
No, I think it sounds like a good concept, quite fun. I mean, it's always good fun when it's like 4v1, especially if you're communicating. I mean, if I definitely be a game where I'll do it with randoms, like there'll be just no communication. But if it's like, 4 of us having a good laugh, maybe even against 4v a randomer, that's not too bad, because the 4 of you can still communicate, have a laugh, and get chased around. But yeah, seems like good fun. But yeah, definitely not a game where I would want to grind or play solo.
No.
Yeah, I think that was one of the issues we had in one of the games, where it was like the 3 of us, an extra player, and then it was up against the killer. We were sort of chatting, and the spear guy, I mean, don't get me wrong, the spear guy was awesome at the game, but we couldn't communicate with him. So like, as we were down, we couldn't get him to like come and help us. So basically it got to a point where it was us 3 were like bleeding out, and he was by himself. I was like, well, you can't go and activate the generator because she knows you're the only one left alive. So if you start the generator, the game's over. He
was just trying to mug her off, wasn't he, by running around, like Graham was running around little blocks. So it's just teasing.
He was just taking the piss out of her, and I was like, so what are we doing here?
I know, but then it's not very fun when the murderer does it on the other way and tases you constantly up the arse.
Oh yeah, fucking bastard.
Just constantly.
Just wouldn't kill me just to say taser. Bastard.
But yes, I think Ross has got some clips going up on YouTube in the next few days. So go check them out, and hopefully we'll get another game. Our good friend Bubba from the States, a fellow Xbox Tavern member, said he wants to play with us at some point, because him and his brother play quite a lot of it. So I mean, they're obviously going to wipe the floor with us, but they might be able to help us along a little bit. But we're going to pick a new game for May, which I think we're going to do by Twitter poll. Did we decide?
Yes, we're going to come up with 4 games at the end of the show, and then we will throw them up on the Twitters. Yes.
So if you want to help us pick a game for this month, go on to Xbox Tavern at Xbox Tavern and vote. Tell us what we should play this month. There's not really much new coming up, which looks like it's going to be multiplayer stuff, but I'm sure we'll find at least 4 games we can figure out and put in a list together.
Yep.
However, Ian's been very quiet, so I'm going to give him first shot. Ian, what have you been playing this week that's not been Dead by Daylight?
I've been playing quite a lot of games for my competition, but 2, I won't really call them noteworthy. I'm going to call them noteworthy for the wrong reasons, because they're both dreadful games. So I want to talk about them. So the first one is Surgeon Simulator 2. If we ever pick this project game, doing that Modern Fiver, I mean, it's just really poorly executed. I feel like if you played the PC, because there's both versions, one's on the PC and Windows, and not the PC is, and one on the console. The Windows version is so much more seamless, so much more better. Works. Whereas the one on the console version is absolutely dreadful. Just doesn't work one bit. Yeah. Sorry, 1 second.
Hi, Tyler. Yeah, no, while he's quickly talking to his son, I played it on the console and I did not enjoy it at all. It was far too fiddly, far too awkward, and it kind of changed what the original Surgeon Simulator was. I don't know if you guys have played it, but the original was fun because you sort of had the keys on the keyboard again. I know not console, but they sort of transposed to fingers, whereas this is more physics based, like I don't know, like human fall flat or something like that. It's just a bit more hectic and chaotic rather than precise, or trying to be precise and then ripping someone's heart or something. Sorry, Ian, carry on.
Yeah. Okay, so I've got to deal with my son. Apologies for this. Move on to someone else. Come back.
Yeah, well, we'll come back. All right. Ross, tell me, what have you been playing this week?
I have been, well, Dead by Daylight, do a tie-in because I think me and Gary have both played a wee bit of FIFA.
Wonderful.
Team of the season. So we've been obviously playing a lot of Ultimate Team, trying to get ready for the cards dropping for Team of the season. I was saying to Gray the other night as well, like I feel like this is the first FIFA that I've really properly got in the Ultimate Team, and I know not everybody is happy with FIFA 22 and the way it plays and stuff like that compared to previous generations, but I've had a great time with this iteration. So I think FIFA 23 Ultimate Team going forward, if it's as good as this year, again, in my opinion, it'll be something to look forward to.
What's so good about it then?
I think it's the accessibility. Gray was saying that the other night as well, but the amount of good cards that there is for people to unlock, it's not like there is. I mean, there probably is like a meta team where it's like there is somebody who is the best goalkeeper in the game, best centre backs, left back, right back, whatever. But it doesn't feel like you necessarily need those exact players to be competitive.
Yeah.
You've got options going forward. I mean, there is some players where it'll make life considerably easier if you've got them, but you don't have to have them to be competitive. So it's not that impossible a grind that you need to worry about making sure that if you've not got the A1 team, then there's no point in playing it.
Yeah, and that's what it used to be in previous years. You just come up and you see a team that you're playing against, you're like, this is going to be painful. You just see it.
What, because they've spent money or because they've spent thousands of hours
Could be,
grinding?
but that's the thing. Every time I play, I make sure I never spend any money at all on doing it. It's all just hard work and luck. And yeah, my team is now capable of competing in sort of the higher leagues of it. And yeah, wouldn't have stood a chance in the previous years. And yeah, just as I said before, way more accessible. A lot of the cards that used to be sort of out of reach, over millions of coins before, nowhere near that now. You can sort of you can spend like a week and get one of the players that you're kind of really after if you put enough graft into it.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at it and like because I've done quite a bit of it this week. Though just through different objectives and promotions that we're having, so I was really trying to sort of grind it out there in between playing. So you've got different modes that you can do for in with Ultimate Team. So you've got squad battles, which is you play against the computer, but it's based on real people's teams. Yeah. Division Rivals, which is like a mini sort of online competitive mode. And then you've got Champions, which is like the top tier that you really want to be trying to qualify and get as many wins for, because it's got the best rewards. And this is the first week that I've really focused on the Rivals and Champs mode. And I'd probably say between trying to complete, because you've got 40 games in squad battles, 10 games in Rivals, unlimited games in Rivals.
Yeah, you just got to keep going to get as high as...
and then 20 games in Champions if you get it.
Yeah.
But that's 60 games between Rivals between Champs and Battles if you want to play them all. And I think I've maybe put 10, 15 hours in to play all of them. So spread it sounds a lot, but if you do 3 hours of FIFA a day, that's you done all you need to do. So I've done it sort of this week, and this is the first time I've noticed how not easy the grind is, but how anybody can do it. You don't have to be the world's best FIFA player. There seems to be like this unwritten rule in FIFA that the community tries, I'll put that loosely, to help each other out. Because you can kind of tell like the reasons that people are playing games, so they try and assist you. So as me and Gray were talking about that other night, if you play a Division Rivals game, you score a goal in the first 5 minutes of in-game time, the opposition will usually quit out and let you get the win because obviously they know that you're trying to get up any champions. So it's quite good for that respect. But no, I've really enjoyed what I've experienced for Ultimate Team since I started. I think I started it in about January time. Was when I really started focusing on Ultimate Team. So long may they continue into 23 as well.
Nice. Football. I definitely understood all of what you just said. So one question actually before we move on to something else. All this stuff you're talking about, Ultimate Football Team, Ultimate Team, blah blah blah. Will you get to take that and move it to 23, or are you just gonna wipe?
You always have to start again from fresh, so it's almost a clean slate. And you just, to me, as new things get built in, it's kind of like how the seasons and things appear in other games, like live season. It's like new seasons, new things come in, so you want to get a taste of that, and then another new season comes in, and then you want some of that, and it's kind of like that. Every new thing that comes in, you want a piece of that, and you kind of try and add it to your team. But yeah, so that, so it goes back to being square one, just basic players.
Fair enough. Nice. Anything else, Ross?
So I've also been playing a bit more of Lego Star Wars. So I finished the second game. So Empire Strikes Back's done now. Still loving it. Still thinking it's a great laugh. Again, more comic elements to it. Can't praise it enough. Everybody should be playing it. Should be mandatory. Death by execution if you don't.
Ian, has your wife started playing it yet? Same jokes every week.
Yeah.
Come back here every week, 8 p.m. ish for the same jokes. Right.
Is it so? Like, which would you say? Because there's 1 to 9 obviously episodes.
Yeah.
What's your favorite one you've played? You've played all of them so far?
No, I've only played I've only completed the first game, and I'm now playing Empire Strikes Back. So I'm only on the second film technically.
Okay, so I'll say maybe I'll come back to you see which one your favorite kind of.
Yeah,
movie.
the playthrough of it. Because that's the thing, like the gameplay sticks quite true to the films, obviously. Well, it sticks to the progression of the film, shall we say. But then there is like other random wee things like space battles and stuff like that you don't necessarily see in the films that you get to participate in the game. So, so far, obviously, 1 was great. 2, I'm enjoying more because I prefer the second film. But no, really, everybody should be playing it. It is awesome.
Nice.
So hopefully Dan will come back next week and extol its virtues as well, as he's carrying on playing it with his son, I imagine.
Yep.
Ian, do you want to quickly go back to what you were saying before we move on to Grayman?
Yes, what was I saying? Where was I? Surgeon Sim. Yes, dreadful game. Really buggy mess on the console. Much better experience on the PC, but still not a great game. However, I was going to say to you, the storyline has kind of like, I don't want to explain the story because it's kind of that quirky kind of Portal-esque kind of storyline where someone always talking to you, and there's something always going in the background, something underlying. And it's really kind of weird because it's like, sometimes doesn't make sense, but at the end, it makes sense.
Yeah. But
it's kind of really quirky, which is quite cool in a way. Apart from this one guy called Josh is very annoying. But apart from that, I think we played it in co-op. I did with one of my friends called David and other Ross from the Tavern. Yeah. We did it in the co-op, and I basically got carried through it mostly because they were doing most things. So I kept pulling limbs off and not getting my left and right completely wrong. It's like and then Ross knows his limbs from his toes and fingers apparently. So. So he knows which one goes in left and right. Me and Dave were like, which one's this, boss? Left or right? He's like, it's left. Okay, thank you.
Nice.
So yeah, good fun. The other game we'll talk about, which newly came to Game Pass, which again is also a buggy mess and not very great, but I had to do it for score, and that's 7 Days to Die.
Yes. So this one, they warned people beforehand, didn't they, that it wasn't very good on console. Yes. Apparently they're working on it. Is it that bad?
It's again another one which is dreadful on console, but you play it on the PC, and there's something I think maybe because they port over exactly from from Windows to Steam, and they just make sure it just works fine. But compared on the console again, I'm not doing the console. Went to the PC version, things work fine, seamless. But again, I feel like it's like I don't know how to explain it really. It's just. Again, it's one of those ones where it's poorly executed. Like, there's so much. Like, in the end, I kind of wanted to kind of see a bit more about the game, so I started using console commands to get some items, so I can actually build something without having to keep hunting for trees and stuff and get zombies kill you. And you have no chance against them because all you got to start with is nothing. Yeah, so start punching them and you just.
Is it like a scavenger hunt and survive kind of bullshit?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
basically I'm getting DayZ flashbacks playing it.
Yeah, I'm looking at it and it's like it's screaming Rust at me. Like I'm seeing a lot of Rust features on that.
Yes.
What it looks like as well is it looks like the original Fortnite. You've got X amount of time, you gather your supplies, you build up your base, zombies come, survive the zombies, gather more stuff, upgrade your base, upgrade your character, more zombies.
Pretty much that, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly that premise. Is during the day you get we maybe get 1 or 2 zombies here and there.
Yeah.
Obviously you can, depending on the world, you can also make your own world. So you can make like days like be longer or shorter. So I think one I made was like 12-minute day cycle, so 12-minute day, 12-minute night. So again, you've got it quite you can make it as long as you want really. But again, it's just one of those ones when as soon as it comes nighttime, you're overwhelmed and it's fucked. Then as soon as it's normal, there's nothing around, you've got to try and build and collect and scavenger. And it got a bit frustrating because obviously you just keep constantly looking, and they don't really give you many guides of what you need to build and stuff. You got to keep looking at the kind of inventory guide and seeing what you need to build. And I end up fucking looking online on the Wikipedia page just to find out what the fuck do I need to do on this.
You know it's bad when you got to resort to Wikipedia.
It looks like it would be really good, but as you say, it's just poorly executed.
Yes.
Like it looks like it's got potential.
Yeah, it's got potential, but then it got to the point now where I was getting DayZ flatbacks. Like,
no,
I can't do this anymore.
I'm
done.
I can't do it.
That's it. It's like my achievement got too much to me. I was like, nope, not doing this.
So did you get the 4,000 though?
No, not yet.
No.
I think that's ridiculous. Like, there's one where you got to basically survive for 28 real hours. So I'm like,
Oh.
okay,
yeah, that's going to be a fucking ball egg, isn't it? And tuck yourself
exactly.
away in a corner somewhere.
Yeah.
And like travel 1,000 kilometers. I'm like, okay, I'm not doing them once anymore. So, but yeah, I mean, it's just a bit of a buggy mess.
Yeah. Well, that's a shame. But is your competition, you say, finished tomorrow?
Tomorrow, yep, finishes tomorrow.
Are you top on both leaderboards?
Nope, we're second in teams, and I'm currently 4th in solo.
Okay. So, and have you got the rest of the evening to catch up, or is it?
Yeah,
have you got tomorrow as well to catch up?
Yeah, so I got till 5 p.m. tomorrow. So
okay,
I feel I'll probably try and aim for maybe second in teams and third maybe in solo.
Yeah,
the top 2 are flying away with it, so there's no chance of catching them. They're fighting, so
fair
no
enough,
chance.
Fair enough. Well,
we'll
good luck. Good luck. There's always next time.
Exactly. No chance in my doing it again. I am done with this stupid competitions.
Yeah, we'll see. Graham. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Graham.
Yes.
Graham. Video games. What have you been playing other than FIFA?
Yeah, I've got in there. So I've been continuing on my playthrough of Yakuza Like a Dragon as well. And I've got to the point where, as you said, there is a kind of summon-based element to it. And because, as I said before last week, that the guy is a bit delusional, it's basically he's phoning someone to hired help as such, but it just materializes like a summon. So that's why that kind of happens. But it's just, some of the summons are a bit radical.
Yeah.
One of them being a lobster that you saved.
Oh, that might have been the one I was thinking about. Yeah. Crawfish or something. Yeah, that's it. I said the game never ceases to go to those levels of craziness. And they've always got a thing for the super perverted as well. There's always a side mission where the guy's like, I heard a screaming baby and I thought it sounded hungry, so I bought this baby formula. And what do you think happens when you go in and when you think there's babies crying? It's going to be a fucking dude in a nappy, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Bunch of dudes in a nappy. And then
like when that in one of the Yakuza games, and like the leopard print pants.
It's almost in every single one. There's always in the little mission where there's a guy in an adult nappy thing. And it's just, after you whoop them, there's always a heart to heart, and they apologize. They give you good advice while he's just standing there in a nappy. Just always kind of crazy mental, but just enjoying it. And I've hit one of the other mini games called Dragon Kart. No guesses of what it's ripping off, but do you
get to race the guy in the pants?
No. You race a lot of different random characters, and they've all got different clicks, so that they've built a little bit of storyline around to it. But it's racing in carts. There's drifting. There's weapons. There's boosts, and there's things to pick up. Yeah, they're always really good at sort of adding in these wicked side games into it, and that's another one I've just hit, and it's pretty decent. But it's just the game is so distracting. It's a distraction within the distraction in that game, but it's always a fun distraction. Should just call all of the Yakuza just procrastination series because you're barely doing the fucking main mission. You're always doing something else.
There's always an arcade to play in or a fucking mini golf to play or some shit.
Yeah, there's golf, there's baseball, there's darts. There's always this kind of stuff going on. It's just no end of the different kind of fun. But yeah, just you can't not play the game and not have a smile on your face at some point in it because it's so crazy.
So do you think you're getting towards the end of it? Or I suppose if you just unlock the summons, you probably got a while to go yet. But
obviously, I've only unlocked one of the other different game things in there. But apparently there's a way that you can change your job role, and in the kind of turn-based RPG thing element as it is, you can change your thing because he believes he's a hero. Apparently, he can change his role to something else. I haven't even hit that part yet where you can change your job role. This goes to show how much I've been procrastinating in the game doing side quests.
And playing Yakuza Kart,
No, that was only recently. I hit that one. But yeah, so much to do. But yeah, great fun. Totally recommend it.
Fair enough. Anything else you've been up to this week?
No, not really. I haven't actually managed to touch any other game other than the game or Game Pass game earlier.
Yeah. Fair enough. Cool.
And then yourself.
I suppose it's my turn now.
Strap
in, lads. We're about to get fucking spicy. Right.
Here we go. Wait. Please don't do any spoilers for the game you're going to talk about.
No, I'm gonna get two out of the way very, very quickly because they're very. I haven't played them that much. Bug Snacks finally out on Game Pass. Woohoo! Oh, Bug Snacks.
Catch him, gotta catch him.
It's a lot of fun. I'm playing with the youngest girl, daughter, because my eldest is away this weekend, so we've been trying to spend some time together. And she was loving it. You sort of feeding these things called Bug Snacks, which are kind of like, as I said before, like Pokemon live animal / fruit vegetable things. It's really weird, and you feed them to someone and their limbs change into that fruit or vegetable or whatever. And it makes no sense whatsoever. I don't really understand what's happening yet. We've only played maybe an hour, but it's a lot of fun, so I should be playing some more of that this week. Turbo Golf Racing, which is Rocket League Golf basically, which is in beta this weekend. I think by the time you listen to this, if you're listening on podcast services, it will be done, but for Xbox insiders, and I think there's a free beta on Steam for anyone. 8 players, and you're basically playing golf, like I said, but it controls like Rocket League. So you're driving your car, you're smacking the shit out of the ball. It's flying down the course. There's boosts. There's
just one ball.
No, everybody's got their own ball, and you can't hit anyone else's. I think you can hit other cars with like the power ups, like the rockets and stuff, but you can't drive into them, and you can't drive into their ball. At least not in the beta. I don't know if that will be available in the main game. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. I've been quite enjoying it. I think, again, like we say with like some of the Project Game Pass, I think it'd be a lot better with a group of us, because at the minute I'm playing on my own against 7 randomers, and it's lacking a bit of atmosphere because there's not any banter going on. There's not any sort of chatter or anything. Everyone's very quiet.
Serious.
Yeah.
I was kind of hoping you were going to say it was going to be like golf with friends. And you could like,
it's so serious.
That's just like fucking chaos with like knocking balls flying and stuff like that.
It kind of is, but the only chaos really is yours. You can't interact, like I said, with anyone else really. But yeah, it's good fun. You play in rounds of 3, and then whoever scores first basically gets the most points, and then at the end of the round, whoever is on top of the leaderboard is the winner, as leaderboards tend to work. But yeah, like I said, I think there's a public beta coming at some point in the next month or 2. So check that out if you haven't. But if you're in the insider program right now, you can get on it for the next 24 hours or so. However, the 2 main events. How do we
do that though, Jay? Is that better than Gandalf or not?
I would probably prefer to play Golf Gang, to be honest. Yeah, because even though it plays like Rocket League, it's got like you know, when you got something that sort of tries to ape something, but it doesn't quite nail it.
Yeah.
It doesn't quite feel like Rocket League, even though it looks like it should do. It's got pretty much exactly the same mechanics. It's just not quite there yet. But again, it's the beta. The full game, I don't think, is actually the end of the year. And it is a lot of fun. Like I said, I think it'd be great as a group to have some banter going on. But Golf Gang, That's some good shit.
That was
Unfortunately, PC only at the minute. However, the main event is back. I'm going to go into the first one very quickly. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe Edition got released 2 days ago. And it is fucking awesome. And if I was to say any more than that, would be a massive disservice to anyone else that played it, because you can't spoil it whatsoever, really, because the whole joy is finding what happens. So I don't know if any of you guys have played Stanley Parable before. I can't remember what you said before.
No, we haven't. No.
But the gist is, you play as a man named Stanley, and he works in an office. He's employee number 427, and then all he does is sit and press buttons on his computer. And then one day, no instructions come. All of his co-workers have disappeared, and you basically follow the story to find out what happened. So there's a narrator, like you were saying, Ian, with Surgeon Simulator. It's like always a story going on, and you get to the first main choice you get is double set of doors. He goes, Stanley went through the left door. And you, like I said before, you can go through the left door and follow the story. You can go through the right door and ignore him, or you go through the left door and then get to the next choice and go off a different way, or follow the story, or the next choice and the next choice, and so on and so on and so forth. And it just gets weirder and weirder. And the original release was fucking awesome because there were so many permutations of different routes you can go and things you could find, and it went weird. It wasn't just a case of finding different stories. It was a case of finding areas that were just like batshit insane. Again, to say any spoilers, as it were, would ruin it, but you go the wrong way, and he's like, Stanley, you're going the wrong way, and you carry on to, why won't you listen to me, Stanley? And then you get to the point where he's trying to manipulate Stanley. He's like, your wife and children, they hate you. You're doing it wrong. Nobody likes you. Why aren't you listening to me? And then it all starts again, and then you carry on, and then it references you doing that again. So then you move on to the next thing, and you go the wrong way. It goes, Stanley, we've been over this. You're going the wrong way. Turn around. And it just goes and goes and goes. And I've been playing for nearly 6 hours at this point, and I've found so many different endings and areas to go to and things, which, again, it's really hard to say why I love it without spoiling it, but you really need to find it for yourself. I spent special guest Pete a couple of clips because I was trying to convince him to play it, of 2 particular areas, which, when you find it, hopefully it'll have the same effect on you, because I was fucking laughing my bollocks off, because it was where did this come from? How did they do this? And why did they pick? It's amazing. It's so hard to talk about how good it is without. I sound like a crazy person. It's good. Play it. Just fucking play it. But it's really good.
No, yeah, it's one of my games I want to play tonight. It's just so much fun. It's
such an incredible experience. Again, the way it. Because even if you follow the story perfectly, so you follow the narrator to the end, and then the story starts again, and it always keeps track of where you are, or what you've done, or what you're doing, and it will add in a little flourish here and a little bit there, and a little side nod here and a wink, and Stanley, you've been here before, haven't you? But I'm not supposed to know that. But you do know that, and you can't possibly you almost like you can't outsmart them, because everything you think, they won't have thought of this, nothing happens, and all of a sudden the narrator pipes up, you didn't think we'd think of that, did you, Stanley? But we're here right now, and I knew you'd come here, so turn around and go. It's fucking brilliant. It's one of those rare experiences where you can't, obviously, as I said, you can't explain details. You can just pray that you don't sound like a madman going, just play it, please. It's awesome. So great, you have access. I know, Ian, you want to play it.
I might get a touch on that.
I mean, a single run technically could only take 5 minutes, maybe. But as soon as you start finding all the different branches and the different ways to go, and the extra perks and the new content and stuff that they've added in, it's probably some of the funniest stuff. Portal was obviously a very funny game, and there's sort of elements of that to this, but this is just fucking a level above. It's amazing, and I love it. It's so good.
Never would have guessed.
Definitely go check out Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe Edition, and then hopefully at some point in the future, when you guys have played it and time has passed, we can talk about it a bit more in depth of specific scenes and things that we found, because I'm sure whatever you lot find, if you do play it, will end up being somewhat different to what I found so far, and so on and so forth. However, enough extolling the virtues of Stanley Parable, because I just want to stop this podcast and go and play it right now, to be honest. But the other game we're playing this week is another game I'm very excited about for a long time, is the House of the Dead remake. Ross is trying to say something and I can't hear what he's saying.
Oh, sorry, yes, that's true. I'm saying the lesser of the arcade games that we talk about, yeah?
Ross, fuck you. So this is from Forever Entertainment and Mega Works, I think they're called. And this is obviously a remake of House of the Dead, which is one of the best arcade games and Sega Saturn games of all time. It's a game that's very near and dear to my heart for many reasons, which I've debated going into on this show, but I won't go into it today because we're going long enough as it is. But this one, it buffs the graphics very nice. It sticks incredibly true to the formula of the original game. So if you've played the original game, you know there's different routes, there's different outcomes and stuff you can get. Everything's there that you could expect. It just looks a lot nicer. The modes that they include is bog standard arcade mode with different difficulties, and then a horde mode, which is basically the same again, but with 10 times more zombies, which I'm a little disappointed about. I would have liked to have seen the Sega Saturn mode, which they introduced on the Saturn, obviously, which gave us different characters in that to use, which had different gunner powers or gun abilities and stuff like that. Yeah. But it's nothing like that. There are other guns to unlock, but there's no Saturn mode, which is a shame. However, as much as I'm loving it, I'm loving it. I didn't think I'd enjoy it as much as I have been on the controller because, well, we'll get into that, but it's still just as fun as ever. I've had a great time playing through it a couple of times now, and I still will go back to it many times going forward. But I would go back to it probably daily if they introduced the biggest thing that we need, which is light gun support. So as I said before, I think on this podcast, I've got the PDP Mars light gun, which is fantastic, but they've only got 3 games for it, 2 of which are shit, and 1 of which is basically House of the Dead, but not as good. But this, for some reason, on Xbox doesn't support it. So you're stuck with controller input, moving a cursor around, which is never the ideal way to play a light gun shooter, especially because, for example, the Magician, the final boss of the game, you can just put the cursor in a very specific spot on screen and just hammer the A and B buttons or the triggers, and you just like infinite ammo fire, and you haven't got to worry about reloading, and you can basically kill him probably without even looking at the screen. And then it also makes it hard to hit the extra item boxes that are in the levels, because the zombies are in the center of the screen, so you focus on killing them, and normally with a light gun you better quickly just whip down and fire at the boxes to get the extra coins or the frogs or whatever. But here you got to drag the cursor across and everything moves too fast for that. On the Switch, you can use the gyro controls, which I haven't tried, but apparently they're obviously a lot better. And then on PlayStation, I think you can use the PS4 controllers gyro or the Move controllers at some point soon. But on Xbox, we got no motion control ability whatsoever, which is a shame. There's a thing called a Sinden light gun, which lets you play on the PC. And I was watching a video of it last night, which is like spot on arcade perfect, but with obviously the upscale graphics, which is very tempting, but it's quite expensive. But Xbox, we're left in the dark for now. They've assured me they listen to feedback, and they will take everything under advisement. And I think even PDP have given up on the Mars light gun, so I don't blame them for not including support for it. But it would be awesome if we could get it, because that would make it probably
way more fun.
Yeah, it would just increase the enjoyment.
Maybe if it was for like a popular game like Time Crisis, they would do it.
I mean, Ross, don't kick me when I'm down, please. But no, I even without light gun support, I've been fucking loving it. It's just as I remember it. The zombie placements are the same. The scientist placements are the same. The the extra like point bits are the same. And because I played it so long and so many times over the last 25 years, I think it was like riding a bike. I got back, I was like, zombie there. Okay. And if I had light gun, again, would have been 10 times better, but I still knew exactly where everything was coming, the enemy placements, the way to get the different routes and stuff like that. And I've been loving it. So it's annoying because I can, I've literally got the light gun sitting there waiting to be used, and I've got a light gun game waiting to be played, but I can't put them together. But maybe one day. But yeah, if you're into light gun shooters and stuff, you could go far more wrong than playing House of the Dead Remake. I would highly recommend it. Yeah. Anyway, that's enough of me waffling on. Play House of the Dead and definitely fucking play Stanley Parable. It's so good. I can't get over it.
See,
But,
I feel like I need to pick that up tonight now.
Yeah, I might
That'll
play
be
it
like
tonight
my
now.
game. Like, I've not
honestly,
got it, but I feel like I might just drop in at the store and just go, that'll do me.
for 20 quid, you'll
Is it
get
only
more
20
than
quid?
you'll get more than enough enjoyment out of it.
Oh, I didn't realise it was only £20. I think I've got £20 worth of reward points sitting there.
Yes. Oh man, it's incredible. But anyway, that's enough for me. I've waffled on for far too long about 2 games that are awesome, and a couple of games that I'm very much enjoying but aren't out yet, or not fully fleshed out anyway. I think that's about it. Should we get into the end segment of the show, gentlemen?
They still got achievements to make.
No, but yeah.
Shit, we've been stopping. Ian's going to go down to 8th place because of us. Fuck. Right. Ross, Game Pass. Things that come to Game Pass. Tell me.
So, fuck it, I'll fire through the whole list for the month because it's probably more will be getting added anyway. So we've got Loot River, that one again.
Loot River.
Loot River on the 3rd, coming to console. Citizen Sleeper, console for the 5th. Trek to Yomi, which I believe you played at Wasad.
Wazd.
Yes, we did Wazd.
Yep.
And it was fucking awesome.
Coming on, is that the one that Ian kept getting his ass handed to him on him?
No, that's the other one.
Oh,
That's
is that
the. That's what's that called again?
The last hero of nostalgia.
That's it.
Console, PC, and cloud on the 5th. A Euden Chronicle, guess. Rising on console 10th. Headspace Shipbreaker on PC on the 24th. The big one for the month, Sniper Elite 5, coming to console and PC on the 26th.
Can't fucking wait for that.
That's going to be
so
fucking
much
awesome.
Good. Hey, if you want to do stuff co-op on that, hit me up.
Oh, definitely. I love the Sniper Elite games. And Pac-Man Museum Plus on console and PC on the 27th.
Nice. So some good games. That, as you guys were saying, Sniper Elite 5. I think Special Guest Pete's very excited about that one as well. Yeah. I can tell Graham's well excited about another stealth action game.
Silence. Says it all. He's speechless. That's how it is. That's what I'm saying.
Pac-Man
My excitement was being stealthy.
Well, Ian, why don't you break in Graham's heart even more and tell him about what's leaving Game Pass?
I would if I knew.
Oh, Ian, Graham, tell us about Games with Gold while Ian looks it up.
No unprepared.
No, I had the page up and I was like, I'm getting ready to shut down, so I shut everything down and I forgot I had a section.
Right. We've got Hue, which is available until May the 15th. We've got Yoku's Island Express from May the 1st to the 31st. The Inner World, The Last Wind Monk from May the 16th to June the 15th. Hydro Thunder Hurricane from the 1st of May to the 15th. And Viva Pinata Party Animals from May the 16th to the 31st.
What is Party Animals? I missed that one. Because there was that and there was Trouble in Paradise, wasn't there, which is the second one. I don't know what Party Animals. I guess it must be some sort of mini game thing.
Yeah, probably.
But
yeah, I can't say that myself.
Yeah.
So
well, go
I think
check
we've all agreed that Games for Gold is dying a horribly painful death.
Yeah.
Mostly, yeah.
But from what I've read and what other people are saying, so Hue is a great game. Like if you've not picked up Hue, play Hue because Hue is one of the. This is where I feel like Games with Gold could really excel. Get really good indie titles. And
Hue is really fun. Yes.
Yeah. So
definitely.
like a game like Hue, perfect for Games with Gold. Now, I've got to forget. Was it the Inner World? I seen somebody have rave. It wasn't somebody from us. It was somebody that was just on. It was basically under one of the Twitter pages that said about it. But they said the Inner World is a really good game. So don't sleep on that one. And
like a point and click adventure, I think.
It's not long either. It's about
I've got
3 to 4 hours.
I got one on my phone, but I never actually launched it.
Yeah,
so I definitely would give it more a go on Xbox.
So the rest of them not ideal, but if you've not picked up Hue already, get that downloaded and have a look at the Inner World as well, because again, people are saying good things about it.
To be fair, Yoku Island Express isn't too bad. I've played it, and it's sort of like a pinball esque platformer.
Yes, nice. Well, yeah, go check them out. They're free anyway, so if you don't like them, just fucking delete it.
Yeah, delete them. Boom, sorted.
Ian,
so
we're on the positive, but nothing's leaving. I suppose we're new month, haven't we?
New month. So what's just left? I guess people want to know is Cricket 19, Outlast 2, and Jamie's favourite Streets of Rage 4.
And not to take Ian's job away from, but GTA San Andreas is leaving this month as well, in May.
Oh yes, I saw that pop up on the console.
Oh
the other day,
yes,
yeah.
nice.
2 weeks.
But
or
I don't
something
think
it's got left.
anything is coming. Nothing's
Been announced
yet.
officially.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, if you missed Streets of Rage 4, obviously go play it. Outlast 2 is fucking awesome as well. And cricket. So I think that's about it. Video games. Thank you very much. If you made this far,
Yay, we made it.
you're a fucking hero. It's wonderful to be back again. It's 8 p.m.
Ish.
On
on youtube.com/Xbox Tavern Official, where you can find us each and every week. You can find us at xboxtavern.com, at Xbox Tavern Twitter, Discord, TikTok, Instagram. I'm sure we've got Patreons. I'm sure we've got an OnlyFans somewhere coming along nicely, I'm sure.
Dan definitely got one brewing.
Search us up. And
That's why Dan's not on tonight. He's making content for the OnlyFans page.
We'll have to get some previews up and we can insert them into the video.
Exactly. Just random, like, half-second, like, flashes. Just subliminal messaging.
Yes, but thank you very much.
Nightmares.
Oh, well, yeah. Thank you very much. We will see you again next week at 8 p.m.
Ish.
Love you all.
Love you all. Have a wonderful week. Enjoy your bank holiday Monday if you're celebrating it. I know that's not the right word, but we'll go with that.
And wish me luck.
Good luck.
Yes, and good luck, Ian. Hopefully you top that leaderboard like a champion.
Like a boss.